Okay, so this is going to be the first ride video for you lot. It's taken me a little while to do, so I've been quite busy and I've been running it in. Fair few changes of plans now with it, which I will go through later on in the day, but it's just fast. I'm on the way to meet Tom and Daryl, going down Julho Woods for a little bit. That's fourth gear. But yeah, it all runs lovely. Clutch works. I have had non-stop problems with getting the 12-volt stator to work how it should. So currently the stator on the engine is the original stator out of the C90 engine, because it just works the best. I've had about 4 different stators from CW Star. Every single one of those has been wrong or hasn't worked as it should, so I've kind of given up, to be honest. Some geezer walking. Which is kind of taking a piss, to be honest, and it's kind of, I won't say ruined it, but it's kind of made me lose interest a little bit. So the amount of trouble that I've had actually trying to get it to work. So my plan with this is, in the end, is I am going to sell the C90 and end up getting another KLX 125. I miss KLX. In my opinion, it's the best bike I've ever had. Never once let me down, doesn't go wrong, it's reliable, it's cheap on fuel. I mean, you go out to it in the morning, it starts at a push of a button, warms up on its own. It's just a good bike. And for what I want to be doing, which is going to be off-road riding mostly, and just day-to-day commuting, because obviously when it's sunny and nice weather, or preferably not raining and not too cold, I want to be on the bike as opposed to driving the car. And I just want something that's going to do that reliably and cheaply. And for the off-road riding part of things, this it's good. With this engine in, not gonna lie, it has kind of ruined it a little bit. It's got too much. The throttle response is, well, it's not even a throttle response. The way it works is like the engine's either on or off, as in such of power delivery, it's either on or off. There's no like crawling along, it's just either like absolutely pin it, or you're not going anywhere basically. It's super easy to stall, although it's not so bad now it hasn't got the light and flywheel on it. It's got the original C90 one. And starting it, oh, it's not even worth talking about, it's an absolute pain. But it is powerful, it has got power, which is nice, but the KLX is winning me over, to be honest. and the number one or the number two top, well, the three top things that are making me want to get rid of this for the KLX are the brakes. The brakes on this are absolutely horrific. Like, they're not even worth thinking about. They're just awful, absolutely awful. Drum brake, front and rear, obviously. They're just absolutely horrific. The suspension, the rear suspension you can upgrade, and it's about 60 quid, which I wasn't, it's not even 60 quid, it's not even worth thinking about, like, just go and buy them. But I mean, the front end, and to keep it looking fairly standard, the front end, there's just not much that you can do so far as I've seen. The forks are so soft, and the way that they work, which when you brake they rise up, whereas normal, like conventional forks, you'd brake and they'd sort of dip down. These rise up. It's really weird. You don't feel it at all while you're riding, but it's no good for off-road. And the other thing, and the main thing I think for me, is the ground clearance. This has got absolutely no ground clearance, and I don't want to kill the engine by whacking the bottom of it on the ground. And everybody's been telling me, oh, get a sump guard or get a bash guard or whatever, but if I put a good bash guard on it, it's gonna lower the ground clearance again, so it'll have even less, and then I'll just be snagging it on absolutely everything. So there's not really any way that you can win, to be honest. I mean, it is what it is. It works as a bike. It's just a bit, well, I'm just asking too much of it. Just look at me like I'm mad because I'm talking to myself. Gonna go for a little ride. We're waiting for them because they're gonna take fucking for ages. So yeah, as I was saying before, that woman started coming over and looking at me while I was talking to myself. Yeah, I'm just asking too much of this bike, really. Like, the original engine would do about 25 mile an hour uphill, flat out pinned, it'd do about 50, like on the flat or downhill, and that's alright. Like, the brakes would be alright for that, so the suspension and everything. And I mean, with this engine in it, it'll go right off the clock, it'll do 50 uphill easily, and someone's done about now, and the brakes just really are not up for it at all. But other than that, it is a good bike. It was reliable with the standard engine in it. It was cheap as fuck on fuel. Was. So yeah, that's kind of what's making me want to get another KLX. Leave your views in the comment section, or leave your thoughts in the comment section about that. I know there's going to be a lot of people that want me to keep this, and I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that want me to get another KLX. I really should not have sold the KLX that I had before, because that was a good bike. Oh, I've done a lot of things to that. But it's not going to get supermoto wheels this time. It's just going to get off-road wheels. Obviously do a nice clutch lever and a brake lever, LED lights everywhere rather than a conventional bulb. The foot brake, the aftermarket foot brake, that's a must, because the standard foot brake for the KLX is way too high for when you're practicing doing wheelies and that. Like, it's like this one, so your foot's flat on the peg, and the brake pedal is above your foot for some reason. I know it shouldn't be, but that's just because it's got foot peg bar on it. But that's just how it is on the KLX. But yeah, there's not really much you want to do to a KLX, to be honest. Exhaust, maybe I might bother with it. To be honest with you, I've I've absolutely completely gone off loud bikes. Like, this thing is just about as loud as I would want anything. Fucking hell, it's a dog. I wouldn't want it any louder than this, to be honest with you. Maybe like this sort of noise level, but with like a nice sort of tone to it, like a nice sort of 4-stroke roar. But I just want something quiet. And the KLX I had before, the exhaust on that was insane. It was stupid. It sounded fucking shit. It was a complete FMF pipe. Like, everybody keeps asking me to buy it. I'm like, no, don't buy it. It was just ridiculously loud. But I guess if that's your thing, and there's always that debate whether a loud pipe will save your life one day. I don't really fancy getting absolutely covered in shit now. Loud pipes, yeah, they're good. There's a possibility they can save your life. The car doesn't see you, but it hears you, so it looks again, and then you pop over the hill. Possibly, quite possibly. But for me, I want it just loud enough to hear, with a nice sort of tone to it. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I guess I'm just going to have to try many different things and see what works the best for me, I guess. Tail tidy, obviously, because the standard tail on the KLX is just stupid. It's ridiculous. It's huge. But yeah, a nice little tail tidy with like a nice LED tail light with integrated indicators. Oh God, I've never been this way. I'll get some kind of small little micro front indicators for it. I'll obviously get onto the people at Hell, have some brake lines made again, because that made such a difference when I had those braided brake lines made and fitted to the bike. There's not really much point in getting bigger brakes again. I believe I had a bigger rear brake on my old KLX. I can't think what it was off, but I think I had a bigger brake on the rear of the KLX, and it was just no need at all. And graphics wise, once again, there's not really any point in me doing a set of graphics, as it's going to be an off-road bike. It's going to get dropped. And I wouldn't want to spend out on graphics and then end up trashing them, basically. I can get a graphics kit at quite a big discount from matey that owns the eBay store that done it for me last time, for a shout out. But I don't know, maybe I'll have a think about it. It's so hard to wheelie this straight because the seat wiggles side to side as you wheelie in, and it throws you off balance. Possibly a front brake guard, brake disc guard. I seen that one on eBay the other day. It looked quite smart. This thing is it's hard to wheelie, but it's not. It's got the power, it's just the balance. Doesn't help that my rear tyre is fairly flat and absolutely bold. But hey ho, it is what it is. If any of you are genuinely interested in buying this off me, drop us a message on Instagram. I'll leave a link to my Instagram account on or in the description of this video. The bike can, well, it can either be purchased with the 140 or without, so just a standard 90 engine will obviously be cheaper with the 90 engine. The only thing I'd recommend sorting out or getting new is the rear shoes, rear brake shoes. Other than that, everything else runs and works lovely how it should. The engine was fully running for 900 miles, so I haven't just bought it and braked it ever since. It was fully running from 900 miles with two oil changes, followed by a further oil change once I hit the 900 mile mark, and that's how it's been, well, that's basically how it's been treated since new. I've literally had the time to run it in, and that's about it. I've been quite busy with the car recently, getting it all ready for the MOT, and literally like 2 or 3 days ago I think it was, we went Japfest, and that was alright. The drive kind of ruined it because the drive was awful, and the car sits at about 60 mile an hour out of boost in 5th gear. Someone's calling me, which is the only sort of economical way to drive it. Daryl. Alright? What's up? What?
Where are you?
Sat at a bus shelter by the skate park.
We were just there.
Well, I'm here.
Well, we're down the lane.
Alright, we'll wait there, I'll come down.
Okay.
See you in a minute. Oops. This video is probably going to end up being in 2 parts, to be honest. It's going to be quite a long video. First video in quite a while, I do apologise for that. Been very busy, like I said. So yeah, they're supposedly down here. Weather's been really weird recently. It's been like sunshine 1 minute and then it'll be absolutely pouring down with rain the next minute.